Zoom fatigue going around the country, but I really appreciate you celebrating with us this afternoon. I'm Bill Yoder with ACDS. I think everybody knows that our mission is to try to help with the gap between the demand and supply for IT professionals in Arkansas. And frankly, one of the most efficient in terms of time and capital is using the registered apprenticeship program to identify people with potential and train them for the specific requirements as provided by the employers. And in this case, I want to thank Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield, GlaxoSmithKline, and Simmons Bank for the level of trust and commitment to this program. And I really appreciate that. And I want to congratulate the individual apprentices. They have successfully completed the classroom training portion of their apprenticeship on to full-time on-the-job training, and congratulations to them. We've had a number of partners in this program for the last 14 to 16 weeks, and one of those partners is Cody Waits, who's the director of the Office of Skills Development, which also includes the State Office of Apprenticeship and is part of the Department of Commerce. And I'd like for Cody to be able to say a few words and introduce our special guest speaker. Cody?
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that, as always. As Bill mentioned, my name is Cody Waits. I'm the director for the Office of Skills Development within the Arkansas Department of Commerce. We're an agency that really does a lot of workforce training and workforce development, whether it's through our grant program where we award funding to companies to engage in, incumbent worker training programs or pre-employment type training programs to very creative type programs, such as the ones that we're doing here with our partners in ACDS. We also oversee the State Apprenticeship Office, where we currently, work with roughly 6,500 apprentices across the state and 140 plus programs across multiple different sectors. But the third leg of the tripod for our office is career and technical education, really aligning what secondary and post-secondary institutions and educational providers are offering to students to ensure that we're creating that pipeline of talent starting at a very young age and moving them through the cycle so they can come and earn gainful employment to a number of the companies who work with us in apprenticeship. And, we wouldn't be able to do this without our partners and individuals such as Bill Yoder and Lonnie and Marie and the Arkansas Center for Data Sciences. If you think about where apprenticeship has gone since Governor Hutchinson's taken office, it's been quite a bit of an increase. We started out with around 3,000 apprentices back in 2015, and we've more than doubled that so far, right? I mean, we're already up to 6,500, and we've established a goal by the time the governor leaves office to have 10,000 active apprentices here in the state of Arkansas. It may not seem like a big number in the grand scheme of things, but it's definitely something that is a stretch, but we feel confident that we can get to. And when you factor in the growth that we're having within the IT sector and apprenticeships, the manufacturing sector, and some of the other programs that we have across the state, a lot of times when people think apprenticeship, they think construction trades. And while there is a large number of those apprentices that are engaged in that, our fastest growing area right now is probably IT, and the second most is manufacturing. So we are really excited about the opportunities that exist. Senator Jane English of North Little Rock sponsored some legislation back in the 2019 General Assembly where it created the Office of Skills Development as the comprehensive apprenticeship office for the state of Arkansas. So not only are we managing state funds for apprenticeship in partnership with the Arkansas Apprenticeship Coordinating Steering Committee, but we're really focused on receiving federal funds for apprenticeship as well. And as of this month, we've actually just recently applied for 2 grants to the tune of $9 million roughly that we hope to receive here at the beginning of July 1. And should we be able to do so, that will definitely give us the boost we need to really take our efforts to the next level. Obviously, with all of our partners involved, we couldn't do it without them, but we also couldn't do it without the support of our guest speaker that we'll have here in a brief moment, and that's the Governor of Arkansas, Asa Hutchinson. The governor's been very vocal around his support for apprenticeships. He's been very engaged in not only the work that we're doing within workforce training and development, but also in career and technical education, as well as the computer science initiative and everything he has going on with his computer coding tour and all of those things. So, you know, we obviously we're boots on the ground, but we couldn't do it without his support and his leadership. And, you know, with that, Bill, Marie, I guess we could probably queue up our guest speaker, the Jobs Gov, as he's been, as we noted, Governor Asa Hutchinson.
Welcome to Little Rock, whether you're here in person or virtually. I'm Governor Asa Hutchinson. This has been an important 14 weeks of training for you. Nearly every aspect of modern life depends on secure technology. The things you have learned over these 14 weeks ensure that the people you serve through your companies and agencies can count on more secure technology. The COVID-19 pandemic has made us realize how vulnerable we still are, both in our physical health and our cyber health. Thank you for dedicating this time in your life to this important element of our lives. I also like to extend thanks to Lee Watson and the Forge Institute, to the American Cyber Alliance, Scott Anderson, Executive Director of the American Cyber Alliance, Bill Yoder, Executive Director of the Arkansas Center for Data Science, and to GlaxoSmithKline, Simmons Bank, and Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield, who freed up employees for this first cybersecurity boot camp.
Thanks, Cody. Thank you, Governor. It's now my pleasure to introduce Scott Anderson, who's the Executive Director of the American Cyber Alliance. The apprenticeship program doesn't work with one entity. It works as a partnership of many. One of the big roles is that of the training partner, who brings the curriculum, brings the instructor, handles a lot of the logistics. And in this case, the logistics really changed about halfway through. And I don't think we missed a beat. So that's a credit to the American Cyber Alliance. And I give you Scott Anderson.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. I think I know most of the people on today. Well, good afternoon. If I don't, I'm Scott Anderson. Like Bill said, I'm the Executive Director of the American Cyber Alliance. I did 24 years in the Air Force, just retired, and had the honor of coming on board to kind of keep the ball moving. So a little bit of background on Forge. It's a nonprofit built to, I guess, develop relationships between the public and private sector. The operational philosophy of Forge is kind of meeting in that where workforce development, innovation, and operations meet, and making that the place where we function in regards to our programs. And the American Cyber Alliance is one of those programs under Forge, along with the Arkansas Cyber Initiative and some innovation programs. Under the American Cyber Alliance, the cyber training, the boot camp is just one of them. We have some micro boot camps as well that hopefully will be kind of building those relationships, meeting the demand of our partners across the state and our nation, reducing risks, building better resiliency, all the stuff that everyone's talking about these days. I just wanted to kind of go over that and stress the importance to the apprentices that just went through this 14-week boot camp, that being in cyber, being in information technology, it's not just going through some training and being done. It's a continuum of learning. From my experience, that's what makes good employees and ensure that organizations are staying on top of reducing cyber risks and or operating securely. I know that there's a lot that can be done. I think Arkansas is kind of paving the way when it comes to best practices, and it couldn't be done without the partnerships like between us and ACDS, along with what Cody does with the state. I'm very thankful that the governor was able to make some time to give us a video and just stress the importance of this and how we're continuing to develop. This opportunity is fantastic. I think it's more about the people and developing the people than the specific technologies, from my experience. And I know that there was a lot that went into this initial boot camp. I really appreciate the students or apprentices that have gone through or been the guinea pigs. I don't know if that's the political correct thing to say, but I know that there's been some learning curves in this, as it being our first, but I believe that it was an awesome experience. The feedback we've got has been fantastic. Wanted to thank the partners for trusting us and sending their employees through this program. I hope that we continue to build these relationships. I really want to know like how relevant this was to what jobs they work into and the on-the-job training that continues over the next year or 18 months. We'd like to build that relationship where we're constantly getting feedback. We don't just want feedback about the folks that went through this training. We want to know, hey, where else do we need to improve or add so that we're delivering a better product, and everybody's kind of on the same page, working well together. That constant feedback kind of thing. As for other things, we've had a cadre of fantastic instructors that have came in. I think the apprentices can attest to that. I wanted to tell Crystal, who's on the line also, that this wouldn't have happened without her. Everyone in the class knows who she is. They got multiple emails every single day. She made sure that this training flowed well. And I just wanted to say thanks to her. At this point, I want to hand it over to one of our instructors, Chris Wright, who's going to take it from here. That's all I got.
All right, thanks, Scott.
No problem.
Before we display the certificates, I just wanted to add my thanks to the students and my fellow instructors as well. To the students, thank you guys for doing all the hard work in the different modules and everything. It's really good to work with students who are enthused about what they're learning and they want to be there to learn, and they're putting so much into it, and that just makes being an instructor that much more enjoyable. And to my fellow instructors, you guys did an awesome job. This was I think a great program, and we couldn't have been done without all you guys coming together and just banging our heads together and creating all the content and delivering it in such a unique and innovative way. So it may have been stressful at certain times, but I think it was well worth it because we have a pretty awesome program right now. So I'll kick it off. I guess, Crystal, you're doing the certificates. We'll start with Nanette Grimes, I believe, from Blue Cross Blue Shield. Are we displaying the certificates, or are we just going to the
names off of those who've completed the training?
Okay. Joshua James from GlaxoSmithKline, Colby Kendrick from GSK, Joseph Kurlak from GSK, Daniel Martin from GSK as well, and Iftikhar Naeem from GSK as well. So we had quite a few GSK guys. Cheryl Purser from Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield, and Ryan Salary from Simmons Bank.
Woo!
Excellent job to all you. I know some of you have some hatred for some of the instructors and all we put you through, but you all did a great job in this, and you hopefully will take this and take that curiosity that we've tried to instill in you and continue learning. As Scott mentioned, just continue learning, never stop learning. At this time, we wanted to open up the floor to any of the apprentices if they wanted to speak a little bit about their experience.
Well,
hey, this is Colby. Oh, sorry, Joe.
Go ahead, Colby. Go ahead. All right, thanks. Hey, this is Colby. So I was hired by GSK to go through the apprenticeship. And I'm just going to start by thanking everybody that's already been thanked, the American Cyber Alliance, ACDS, because if it wasn't for a program like this, allowing someone like me who almost has zero experience in the cyber world, being able to break into this career field would be very difficult. And then with that being said, throughout the 14 weeks with the instructors taking me from essentially, zero hands-on technical experience all the way up to where, I'm running intrusion prevention systems and SIEMs and breaking into computers just speaks volumes to you guys being able to teach that material. And I know we had definitely some good laughs together. And then there were probably other times like myself where I definitely wanted to break my laptop maybe once or twice from frustration. But with the help of all of you, able to work through that and constantly making yourselves available, whether you were the instructor teaching the course or whether you were just giving us your information, telling us to reach out if we ever had any questions. So definitely thank everybody for putting a program like this together and allowing people like me to have the chance to break in to the career field. Thanks.
Thanks, Kobe. Joe?
Hi there. This is Joe Kurlak, GSK. And first, I also want to thank all those who were involved with the program and putting it together, and the instructors. I also like to thank my management for giving me the opportunity to attend this. Chris Radmer, Tara Jakes, and Adam Holland. Appreciate you the support you gave me to join this. I've been in with the company for 24 years and working lately in the risk and compliance area for the last 10 years. And I support the cyber ops teams to ensure we follow our internal controls to effectively manage risks, as well as be prepared for internal and external audits. And the course was really beneficial to me because it gave me a deeper level of understanding of the many functions and disciplines of cybersecurity and the ever-changing threat landscape. It's a really extensive course that went through a lot. We covered a lot of material, and it's given me an appreciation for what our teams do every day to protect the company. The takeaway for me is that I'll use this learning and experience and an added perspective and apply it to my role working with our teams to identify, track, and mitigate and manage risks to the company. I was thinking about this, saying, I think we've all heard, you don't know what you don't know. But then you experience something like this and realize what you didn't know and what you still don't know. But I can tell you, I know a lot more in this space today than I did 14 weeks ago. And this will certainly have an impact on the work that I do going forward. And just wanted to say a couple other things about what I felt was strong areas of the training is that I really like the hands-on tools we use, the real operating environments of Windows and Unix, and using the actual tools used by professionals that we got our hands on and really could do the deep dive work. The course itself leads you through a logical progression of key basics to more advanced tools and analysis, and it was well paced for everyone. It kept each class member engaged regardless of what their own starting point. And I really appreciated the extensive knowledge of the instructors. They really knew the material, and it was very evident during the course. I think the assessments were very good too, both pre and post. You could see how you did, what you knew going into a module, and what you came out of it with. I enjoyed meeting everyone virtually. I would have been virtual anyway, regardless of COVID-19, because I'm in the Philly area. But we ended up all being virtual, which was it was great to get to know everyone's voice and kind of get to know their personality a little bit. I would highly recommend the course to anyone who wants to go this way. And it was the only other piece of advice I'd give to somebody taking the course is you get a really big monitor or a second screen, because it works much better if you can have multiple screens, because you're doing a lot of multitasking with different environments open. And I think having a single screen might be a little tough. But that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Anyone else?
Yes, I had something to say, but my dogs are currently going crazy right now, so I'm trying to get them to stop barking before.
What's new, Ryan?
Just to piggyback off of what Colby and Joe were saying, like for Colby's aspect, I came into a new career because out of the military, and then I went to college, and then I came here. I don't know anyone in Arkansas, and I'm like looking for a place, and this apprenticeship really gave me an opportunity to have a great start. Not only to like bridge that gap from what I learned in college to what actually happens in the real world day-to-day basis. It was just amazing. And I've learned so much in this class, and I'm bringing what I've learned from the class to my current job and actually being able to use it. Unlike when I came out of college, it was just, ideas versus actual hands-on skills that you can take to work and do it that day instead of having to still have to learn how to do something. Despite not actually working on my current SEAM, the knowledge that how the SEAM works and whatever you can take that information and bring it over to your current SEAM and ingest whatever information you need to know into that. So, I mean, I can't really describe how good it feels to actually go into something new, but then you have that skill. You know what I mean? Like you come into something new, you don't know anything, and then you develop these skills, and you're like, oh, I know how to do this. And then you just start getting more comfortable at work, and then it just allows you to progress so much easier rather than coming straight off the street and trying to learn something. I mean, I just want to say thanks to everyone in the class and all the instructors. You guys, we made it. I didn't know if we were all going to make it, but we all made it. And that's all I got to say. Also, sorry, I would like to thank Simmons for this opportunity because I don't know, it's a random risk. Even when I was applying for it, I was like, well, I don't know about this. Seems sketchy. My wife was like, hey, I don't know about that. Seems sketchy, but it turned out great.
Definitely thank the boss. All right, thanks, Ryan. Okay, with that, I will turn it over to Lonnie Emmer, Director of Apprenticeship with ACDS.
Hey, thanks, Chris. This is a really important transition that we go through on both the supply side. You just heard from all of these wonderful apprentices who I'm glad that the stories are as rich as they are. It is important to know they started out as really raw potential and now have become so productive with these companies. But it's a great transition when we talk about supply, because where this really all starts is with demand. It starts with the employers who understand that they have needs in terms of skills, in terms of trying to find this talent that's going to be productive and stay, right? And that's important. And so I think that we ought to all acknowledge that we don't have an apprenticeship if we don't have the employers. And that's what uniquely kind of differentiates this program. It's great training. ACA and Forge have really kind of led the way to some wonderful training. At the same time, the employers have been the one bringing the real-time applied opportunity. So what I'd like to do at this stage, and Marie with our slide, is to introduce first Mr. Devin Shirley, Chief Information Security Officer at Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield, and he may include Kathy Ryan, the CIO, who I think is with us as well. But Devin, I'd like you to share a few of your own remarks, please.
All right, thank you, Lonnie. I appreciate it. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Good.
Okay. All right. Well, this was definitely a different opportunity for us at Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield as well. I talked with Kathy. We both talked with Lonnie and our HR vice president, and this was a new experience, and we were really trying to understand how to best do this, and who would be the candidates that we would go through it. And we were actually able to send 2 folks through who had some security experience, but it was a they were in one particular area of it. And so this gave them the opportunity to get a broad understanding of not just one particular aspect of security, but everything from the governance to the technical components. And then even from a little bit of the hacking side and some of the on the ground capabilities that are out there. And so I've been able to talk with the folks that we sent through, and they were able to learn a lot. And, you know, it gave them a greater appreciation for everything that we do from a security perspective, and not just those little individual components, but also gave them the capability to see how it all, the big picture and how everything fits together and how it works hand in hand to protect our organizations overall. So this has been a very good experience for us. I don't want to speak for Nanette or Cheryl, but I've talked with them a little bit and heard some feedback from Lee, and you know, just got some information saying they were able to pick up on quite a bit of information that they previously did not have. So I think it's been a very beneficial for all of us. So I'll just kind of stop there because Kathy can tell you I can go on forever. So Kathy, I'll let you if you have any comments you want to make.
Kathy, are you on mute?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I won't repeat what I said, but I was thinking Devin. But bottom line is I really believe in that we have a lot of staff that's going to be or need to be retrained over the next several years. Our whole business environment is changing with the COVID-19. Everything's been flipped upside down, so there's more changes coming than I can even guess. But bottom line is I really appreciate this program. It's given us a great opportunity to see, how we could go about the apprenticeship program. And I really appreciate Cheryl and Nanette being our guinea pigs. They didn't probably realize that that's what we were putting them through, but we really appreciate you too. So, and thanks so much for this program. It means a lot to the state of Arkansas.
Well, Kathy and Devin, thank you very much. And so the next employer representative that's going to give us some feedback, and GSK had the most apprentices in the program. And so I hope this is only the beginning. Hope that's true for all of our employers in these apprenticeship programs. But Adam, you've been very instrumental in getting this program off the ground as an employer. So from GlaxoSmithKline, Adam Hall.
Thanks, Lonnie, and congratulations to all of the apprentices and the instructors, because you've pulled off a monumental feat, not only in training and learning new topic or upskilling your current knowledge base, but you did it at a distance, and instruction and learning, both of those are really made more difficult, and yet you've proven success there. So you carry away cyber skills and yet another story as you build your career path to demonstrate your ability to adapt to changes in the work environment and threat landscape. Also quickly on it, if I could, I wanted to echo the thanks for you and your team and the Center of Data Science and Cyber Alliance and Lee and Scott and the others for putting this together and building this capability in the state. We know it wasn't present. We know it's an immediate and historical need, and it's proving its weight now as we see the benefit to GSK and helping identify additional talent pipeline. There's a global shortage for finding folks to work in security. And then also that just as important topic, and I think Kathleen just mentioned it as well, is around how do we upskill and retrain our current workforce so that we continue our investments in them within our company. In this particular class, we were able to prove both of those back to GSK and to our team members of bringing new team members in that are making a career transition, and then also taking current team members and allowing them to add to their infosec and technical skills. And it's hard to put a price tag onto what that means for the company and for that employee and their long-term career progress as an information security expert. I also have to admit and put in front of the group that as a member of the governor's cyber task force, that this has been an excellent model as we're putting together the report and the write-up for the governor on how to take Arkansas to that next level from a cyber and cybersecurity standpoint. You heard it referenced in his video, both our physical and cyber health. The state has experienced a recent issue where that's front and center, but it puts all of that out there on how we're putting this together. We're finding ways forward in the state from the students and their determination, the instructors and the others in their investment, and then employers like us coming forward to say, you know what, we see the value here. It's not just self-serving, it helps the community as well and our cybersecurity community. So let's move forward and make this work. And to your point, Lonnie, I'm looking forward to the next round of a joint venture into this new model and apprenticeship program for sure.
Adam, thank you. Those are words I can tell are very candid and from the heart, and it's been great working with you, just like Blue Cross. Our final employer representative is going to be Laura Vaughn from Simmons Bank. And Laura, you were one of the first to get involved with this program, and I just have to say our appreciation to you for staying with this. And Ryan made his comments very clear earlier about the creation of this opportunity for apprenticeship at Simmons Bank. So take it over, Laura.
Thank you. So congratulations to everybody who's completing this great achievement. We're all, the employers are very happy to have you on board full time. Thrilled to have people who've been through great training and are prepared to hit the ground running. Lonnie alluded to, we brought Ryan on before the program was even set in date. We went through a couple fits and starts before the actual first class kicked off, but we're very glad that we stuck with it. And we're glad to have Ryan on board, and we'll be glad to get him back to being full-time on the team here soon. The biggest thing for us is that building a pipeline in the state of Arkansas is a really beneficial thing for everybody. We know that there is a cyber shortage of talent, and it is tough to get people to come into the state. Relocating is not easy. I did it. We want to build that talent internally, build the pipeline, and continue bringing growth and development opportunities to the state through partnerships like the one with ACA, ACDS, and the Forge Institute. So we look forward to seeing what becomes of the next iteration of the program and all the great things that everyone's going to be doing after completing the program.
Thank you, Laura. That was just awesome. I'm glad we're capturing and recording this. We hope that you're going to be the pioneers that are going to influence many others after you, not just from the apprentice point of view. We hope that every one of those apprentices carry forward a testimony as they continue the rest of their first year here or the year of the apprenticeship. But at the same point, I think your employer comments and testimonies are powerful. The governor's message is powerful. Certainly Scott and Chris, from ACA's perspective, what you've been able to deliver, I think from all of us, we want to say, this is something special. I mean, I don't think there's any of the kind of training that we're talking about that could have been as in-depth as what you provided, and couple it with the fact that the real key is how productive they've become and how they've taken the applied side of actually becoming cybersecurity specialists. You just can't put a price tag on that, as somebody mentioned earlier. But from the standpoint of the integration of the organizations working together, so whether that's OSD and the Office of Skills Development, what Cody mentioned about apprenticeship, ACDS's role, certainly ACA and Forge Institute, bringing together employers and candidates and making this thing work. We really need to be extremely proud of what's come off here. And I just want to close by saying thank you. I don't think we can say thank you enough all the way around. But again, I want to say congratulations to the apprentices, that your lives have been changed, that your futures and your career path have been established. And I hope you become mentors in your organization, mentors in the community, and continue to become the future decision makers that are going to be impactful in our state of Arkansas. So for everyone here who's been involved, I want to say thank you again and have a great day. Congratulations.
Great job.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you.
Be safe. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Yeah.
Great job. Yeah, Adam's got it going. Give him a hand. Always hard to bring closure. Chris, great job. Whoever appears. Any final note? Any final words?
get ready for the next one.